ancient Persia, from the classical age, the homeland of that is basically in modern-day Iran. So this is a map of Persia. As you can see, this red line that goes all the way around is the furthest extent of the Persian Empire. The homeland, or basically where modern-day Iran is in the center there with the circle. And the Persian expanded to get those nasty Greeks over there, down there at the Egyptians, and then extended all the way to India. First thing you need to know about the Persians are the four empires of the Persian Empire: the Achaemenid, the Seleucid, Parthians, and Sassanid. An easy way to remember this is by the acronym ASPS. Now say it carefully. That's ASPS. Now an asp is a kind of snake, a deadly venomous snake from the Nile River. Now, an asp is very famous because its venom was used by Cleopatra to commit suicide during the Roman Empire. The Achaemenid Empire, or Achaemenid, the way it's properly pronounced, was really the most Persian of the four empires. Now, the next one, the Seleucid Empire, is one of those Hellenistic empires that was created after Alexander the Great. Then the Parthians and the Sassanids were again Persian empires. Now, all throughout this time period, you can feel the power of the Greeks in Persia, but particularly at the time period when the Macedonian Seleucid is actually ruling Persia. The number two thing you need to know about the Persians is that they had a strong bureaucracy. Now, that bureaucracy was made up of satrapies. Now, a satrap or a satrap was an individual province run by a governor. Now, each of those governors or each of those satrapies reported back to the emperor. So, they each report back. Now, this is a way to keep control of a large empire, but still remain centralized. So the key word is that the Persians were centralized in their bureaucracy. Now, here's a map of all the satrapies out there in the Persian Empire. This one's the Achaemenid. And you can see that there are many of them. Armenia was famous. And then there are some over here: Carmania, Parthia, which later will rule Babylonia, and all of them report back to the emperor. The fourth important thing to know about the Persians were their public works. One of the most important was the royal road. And as you can see, it was a paved road. And this road allowed for a courier service, which would take messages and mail across the empire and send important messages so that the emperor could be informed on what was going on out in the provinces. Now, here's a map of the royal road. And you can see that this line right here is the royal road, and it doesn't seem that there was much of a royal road over here. But why would there be a road from, I don't know, here to the centers of power, which were over here in the green? Well, this is where those pesky Greeks were who rebelled, and so it also allowed the empire to send troops to keep the Greeks at bay. Another important public work were the qanats. Now, these are canals. Now, what you have to understand is most of Persia is in a warm climate. So if you just had open canals, like we think of in Venice, there'd be water. But then, because of the heat, all of it would start to evaporate. So the Persians built it underground. Here's a picture of, this is of a kinet where it exits out, and you could get water from here, and this might be where this guy is standing underneath where the water would travel to get to such a place. The number 5 thing you need to know about the Persians is the city of Persepolis. Now, Persepolis is now an ancient ruin, and as if you can see here that there was some sort of structure. Here's the head of a horse. Here are some columns, some gates into a room. What part of this was a palace, and it was started by Cyrus the Great, and then finished by Xerxes, who both of whom we'll talk about in a bit. Now, Persepolis is found right here in Persia. This is modern-day Iran, so quite a distance from the current capital of Tehran. Now, Persepolis has several structures in it. Like I said, there was a palace. There was more than one palace. These are the famous gates. And down here we have a griffin. One thing to notice about Persian art is you will know it's Persian often because of this kind of beard structure here. I'll show you another picture of it. But often the beards are drawn with little circles on these sphinx-like characters here. And that's how you know it's Persian. So over here we have some soldiers who also have beards, but it's not easy to see right here that they also have little circles for their beard and these hats up here. Now this is important, and this will be the next number, but this is the symbol of the religion of the Persians, which is called Zoroastrianism. And here too, we've got the beard. The 6th important thing to remember about the Persians is their religion, which is called Zoroastrianism. Now, Zoroastrianism is named for its founder, Zoroaster. Now, your book uses a translation, Zarathustra, but we generally call him Zoroaster since the religion is named after him. And he is the prophet, the one who understood the way of nature, the way of the world, the way of the gods, and explained it to the people. Now, Zoroastrianism has a belief in 2 forces. One, Ahura Mazda, is the good force. One way to remember that is that Mazda is a half-decent car. Make that a happy face there. All right. And this God is the creator of all things and good. But out there is an evil spirit, Angra Manu, who is evil. Let's see, give him a evil, bad. I don't know, how else can I make this bad? Maybe like that. Bad eyes, ooh, scary, Angra Manu. And people have free will to choose between the good, the creator, or the bad, the destroyer. Now, this should sound somewhat familiar to you. It sounds a little like Hinduism, but it also sounds a little bit like Christianity. And a lot of historians believe that the ideas of a devil and a righteous God that are found in Christianity and later Islam might have started right here with Zoroastrianism. So, the sacred text of Zoroastrianism is the Avesta, and the hymns, or like the songs, are the Gathas. Fire temples. Now, Zoroastrians believe in a cleansing ritual having to do with fire. But they also believe in a cleansing ritual. Well, that's supposed to be a dot of water, but okay, of water. Again, giving more evidence to historians of a connection between Christianity and Zoroastrianism. Don't believe me? Well, here's the last connection. Which is the word magi. Now, in some translations of the Christian Bible, the three wise men right here, let me do it this way, are called the magi, and they bring gifts to the baby Jesus following the star. You can make your own decisions on the connections between the two, but there certainly is some historical connection between these two religions. This last picture is of the religious symbol of the Zoroastrians. You gotta admit it's a kind of interesting symbol, regardless about how you feel about the religion. The final and last thing you need to know about the Persian empires is the important emperors. The first being Cyrus the Great. Was he great because he slayed some big lion? No, he was great because he started the Persian Empire. You can see here he's got the beard and the hat that characterizes Persia. Now, Darius, not that Darius, but this one, was an important ruler as well. He's the one who started the war with the Persians. And as you can see, he's got the beard and the hair of a Persian ruler. Alright, here we have the next Persian ruler, Xerxes, which we saw in the movie 300, which we saw in class just a couple days ago. Now, Xerxes was the second ruler to fight with the Greeks. Xerxes is also the name of my cat. My other cat, not named Xerxes, not important, but I still love him. Okay, the very last important ruler was Seleucus. Now, Seleucus was a Hellenistic emperor. He was one of those three generals who got land from Alexander the Great. And his empire is in green, right there. Now, there's also the Antigonus Empire over here, and the Ptolemaic over here.